I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Friday, August 28th. News from Arkansas. Did somebody say somebody's going to play football this weekend? That's good news. We've had some cool mornings. The future lies ahead of a wonderful fall in Arkansas. On to the news. Martha Shoffner, the Arkansas State Treasurer who resigned after she was stung in an FBI bribery operation, was sentenced today in federal court to 30 months in federal prison. The federal sentencing guidelines could have given her 15 years. The prosecution wanted 5 years. Her attorney offered a year to a year and a half, some of that in home detention. She's 71 years old. She's been ruined. She has no money left. She's a broken person. She's been vilified. The judge split the difference. He gave her 30 months in prison. He didn't set a fine. He did order her to pay back $31,000 that she'd received in the form of bribery from a man who got $1.7 million in commissions for state bond business. He, by the way, was never charged. He spent his money up, lost his license, says he can't afford to pay a fine that he got for his misdeeds as a security salesman. So Martha Shoffner will report to Fort Worth Federal Prison in 2 months and serve out at least 30 months there. Other big news today in Arkansas is that the state of Arkansas has said it will now, after all, give people 30 days to respond to notice that they must prove that they're still eligible under income guidelines for Medicaid and the private option health insurance program. It had been holding fast to a 10-day program. The federal government made it clear that the 10-day deadline was not allowed by the rules, that they had to give at least 30 days. They could give as many as 90 days. The state has been forced to yield. The governor doesn't really sound too happy about it. He seems to kind of put the blame on changing guidelines from the feds, but we've been reporting all along that the 10-day rule, in addition to not being right and being unreasonable and being poorly put into effect, simply wasn't legal, and that seems to be the case. The bad news here is that some 55,000 people who've already been terminated will not be covered by this rule change. They are gone. They have a 90-day period. Some of them have some days left to appeal the process, but they've been terminated. The state says there's no way to deal with those. In fact, of course, there is. They could start the whole process over with a 30-day notice for everybody, but they've decided not to do that. Final news at the Pollution Control and Ecology Commission today, approval of 2 new rules that will mean a 5-year moratorium on new major hog farms in the Buffalo River watershed, the establishment of a big hog feeding operation there, and its risk of polluting the state's most scenic natural river and polluting the air as well, prompted an outcry that has led to this moratorium. The legislature's approved it currently. This will give people an opportunity to see if the existing hog farm is a detriment to the environment or not. Asa Hutchinson, the governor, told me today that he's going to stand firm on his decision to stop Medicaid reimbursements in Arkansas for Planned Parenthood, which provides gynecological services for poor women. He says he's unmoved by the news that Planned Parenthood has demonstrated pretty clearly that undercover videos taken about some things said by some of its people in other states were edited to make a misleading video that made it look like Planned Parenthood was doing illegal things when they were not. In any case, what was going on was not going in Arkansas, but Asa Hutchinson's decision to stop Medicaid funding for people who get cancer tests, sexual disease screening, and family planning services will be affected by his decision, even though nobody in Arkansas had anything to do with these videos. Interesting lawsuit filed yesterday in Saline County Circuit Court, a class action lawsuit by those whose personal information was revealed in the data dump from the hacking of the Ashley Madison website. This is a website that supposedly arranges communications between people looking for illicit affairs. I'm not so sure it wasn't a big scam of men in the first place. In any case, seeking damages there for potentially a very large number of people. It was filed by John Doe. His name was not attached, said to be a Benton man. Interesting resolution filed for the Young Republicans State Convention this Saturday in Little Rock. A Central Arkansas Republican wants the group to pass a resolution urging the state party to drop opposition to same-sex marriage from the party platform. Some YRs think that the young people may pass this resolution. I think the chance of the older Republicans adopting this point of view anytime soon are few and far between. The state legislature and the governor, as you know, has recently approved legislation to protect people who discriminate against gay people. They seem likely to soften anytime soon on same-sex marriage. Speaking of sex, what else does that bring to mind but the Duggars? Interesting story in People magazine you'll find on our Arkansas blog. The Jim Bob Duggar family trained its 19 children to avoid lustful thoughts and avoid thinking about sex by invoking the mantra Nike. Anytime you thought about sex, you were supposed to say Nike. Funny thing to say for a company whose slogan is just do it, wouldn't you think? And finally, something for you to read. I've got some links on the Arkansas blog to news about last night's inaugural induction ceremony for the Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame, a creation of Arkansas Business, a sister publication of ours, and the North Little Rock Chamber of Commerce. It's a good idea. It follows a lot of work by Olivia Farrell, CEO of Arkansas Business, to rise up a lot of women in Arkansas, to have them more represented on public boards of corporations, to establish a foundation to help women advance. It was a good opportunity to see the number of women who've done some amazing things in Arkansas. I took the liberty to talk about my own personal Women's Hall of Fame. I come from a family where women rarely were deferential to men, from grandparents to mother-in-laws to mother to wife and children, and I'm proud of them for being in the workforce and doing the things they do. They're my Hall of Famers every day. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back next week.